Opened in 1972 and located in Fort Worth, Texas, is the Kimbell Art Museum. The museum was designed by Louis Kahn, whose works, known like the Salk Institute, caught eye of the director of Kimbell Art Foundation with his use of natural light. This mastery led Louis Kahn to create one of the world's greatest natural lit museums.
The Kimbell Art Museum in Fort Worth is a legacy of Kay Kimbell, who began collecting works of art in 1931 when his wife, Velma Kimbell, persuaded him to buy a British portrait from a loan exhibition at the Fort Worth Public Library. The Kimbell Art Foundation, which owns and operates the museum, was established in 1936 by the Kimbells to support Kay's growing collection. Early on, the foundation collected mostly British and French portraits of the 18th and 19th centuries, and by the time Mr. Kimbell died in April 1964, the collection had grown to 260 paintings and 86 other works of art. Upon his death, Mr. Kimbell left his estate to the foundation, leaving it with his vision that it create a museum of the first class. In 1965, Richard F. Brown, then director of the Los Angeles County Museum of Art, was appointed as the museum's first director, and the foundation began planning for the future museum and development of the collection. Shortly after, in June of 1966, the foundation adopted a policy statement for the future museum outlining its ambition, outlook, and agenda. Because of this policy, the foundation acquires and retains works of definitive excellence, works that are said to define an artist or type, and aims not for historical completeness but the obtainment of individual objects of the highest possible aesthetic quality, determined by condition, rarity, relevance, and communicative powers. The Kimbell collection today consists of 350 works that not only epitomize their periods and movements, but also touch individual high points of aesthetic beauty and historical influence. In October 1966, Louis Kahn received the commission to design the Kimbell Art Museum. The foundation made it clear that it wanted architecture that would prosper not only on aesthetic grounds, but also from a functional standpoint. These ideas were a conviction shared by Kahn, who distinguished himself by a deep sense of practical as well as spiritual design. Richard Brown advised that the Kimbell should have an inward orientation and imaginative garden treatments, but what was most important to him was that the art be experienced with natural light and outdoor views, an opinion that went against the prevailing trend of the day. Such a museum would offer a different experience on every visit, as the light would vary according to the time of day, the season, and the weather. From the moment it opened in 1972, it was deemed one of the finest art museums ever built and seen as a defining building of Kahn's ever-evolving ideas about the architectural union of light and structure. It was the last work the architect would see to completion before his death in March 1974.
Louis Kahn's first design was an angular vault, which was ultimately rejected for its height because Brown's vision for the museum was a lot shorter than what Kahn had presented, so he went back to develop more of this idea. When finally his cycloid domed arches were the perfect blend of the mastery for natural light and requirements that Brown had envisioned. In the end, the building's height came to be about 6 meters and produced elegant galleries that were wide in proportion to their height. The flat cycloid curves created enough space for a slit of natural light to enter, which perfectly covered each room. Much of Kahn's work here was inspired through Roman mastery of concrete, and this developmental design helped him capture the perfect poised Roman vaults that Kahn admired so deeply. There were definite structural objects in which looked to be too much but yet so simple. It seems Kahn's understanding of concrete shell at the time wasn't masterful, so the original plans contained extra support columns just in case. The Guerin firm in which helped the building followed the plans as precisely and made modifications to lower cost, and it paid off, although Louis Kahn's extra columns also appeared. It wasn't too noticeable, and nothing stuck out during my experience, but it seems Kahn's worry to keep the building from collapsing did a better job than expected, as many new additions were later added. To summarize it, walking into a building with the knowledge of its architecture and architect who built it was completely different. I believe that was the first time I experienced a building being completely architecturally aware of my environment. I understood the second I stepped into the building and the lobby, there was so much to offer and so much that was hiding behind an aesthetically pleasing set of stairs. The lighting in the building was essentially a photographer's paradise, to put it in short. It was soft and hard at the same time. It contained a picturesque scene in every picture and held a mysterious aura that was prominent in Kahn's belief in place. From enjoying the aesthetic environment, walking through a beautiful colonnade of trees, and paying homage to the architect's history, the entire experience was enlightening, to say the least.